Want to know one of the most misunderstood truths about what actually attracts women? It's not six-pack abs, it's not the flashy car, it's not even slick words. It's boundaries, strong, grounded, unapologetic boundaries. Most men never figure this out. They think boundaries push women away, but the opposite is true. Boundaries don't repel women, they pull them in. And I'm not talking about fake alpha behavior or manipulative games. I'm talking about real masculine boundaries. The kind that come from self-respect, a clear sense of purpose, and knowing exactly who you are. In this video, I'll break down 6 powerful boundaries that spark subconscious attraction in women, not through control or pressure, but through presence. These aren't power plays, they're clarity moves. And when you hold them firmly, she feels it, she respects it, she responds to it. Especially boundary number 6, because that one doesn't just protect your power, it reshapes how she sees you, and even how she sees herself when she's with you. So let's dive in. Boundary 1, the unavailable advantage. Your time belongs to you. That's the strongest boundary you can set. At first it feels risky. You don't reply to her texts right away. You don't drop everything the moment she calls. You don't rearrange your entire life to fit into hers. And in your head, you worry. Won't she lose interest? Won't she think I don't care? Won't she move on to someone else? But here's the truth. The opposite happens. When you're not always available, you communicate something powerful, without words. You say, my time has value, my life has meaning, my world already has momentum. And that subtle tension, that little uncertainty about where she fits into your life, it's magnetic. Because constant availability screams, I have nothing going on. But when your presence feels scarce, your value rises. Scarcity has always created desire. You don't chase her. You draw her in simply by living fully. Now let me ask, have you ever been too available, only to watch her lose interest? If that's happened, type guilty in the comments, because fixing this one boundary alone can change your entire dating dynamic. Boundary 2, the no apology rule. Learn to say no without guilt. This boundary shifts everything. And here's what most men miss. How you say no matters more than how often you say yes. Picture this. She invites you to something that doesn't fit your schedule or energy. You want to say no, but you don't want to upset her. So you soften it. I'm so sorry. I just have this one thing. Maybe I can reschedule. I'll try. I promise. You over-explain, you backpedal, and without realizing it, you undermine yourself. You water down your truth until it barely feels like a boundary. And she notices. Now compare it to this. I won't be able to make it, but I hope it's great. Let's catch up later this week. Polite, clear, confident. That's attractive. No fidgeting, no apologizing for existing, no asking for permission. You simply owned your time. A man who can say no without guilt doesn't just protect his schedule. He shows he trusts himself. And in a world full of men trying to please everyone, that kind of self-trust is magnetic. Boundary 3, the respect reflex. Call out subtle disrespect, calmly. Most men think disrespect is loud, but the truth, it usually whispers. It shows up in the smallest things. An eye roll when you're speaking, a sarcastic jab about your work, a dismissive comment in front of friends, a joke that cuts too deep. And what do most guys do? They laugh it off. They let it slide. They tell themselves, it's no big deal. But here's what you need to understand. Letting it go doesn't make you easygoing. It makes you invisible, not to the world, but to her. Because whether she realizes it or not, she's watching how you respond to disrespect. And if you don't respect yourself enough to call it out, she won't respect you either. Now, I'm not saying snap, lecture, or pick a fight. You stay calm. You look her in the eye and you say, "Hey, I don't let people talk to me like that." That's it. Simple, firm, grounded. That one line does what 1,000 sweet texts never could. It creates polarity. It shows her you have standards. It shows you honor yourself. And being around you requires presence, awareness, and respect. And here's the magic. When a woman sees you respect yourself enough to speak up, she doesn't pull away. She relaxes. She feels safer. She leans into her feminine because you're holding the frame. Now let me ask you, have you ever let something slide only to feel off about it afterward? Drop the word frame in the comments if you know what I mean, because it's those micro moments that reveal everything. Boundary 4, the calm test. Lead. Don't react. Here's something that separates you from 99% of men. A woman will test your emotional center before she ever trusts your emotional depth. And most men, they fail that test in minutes. She'll throw out a playful tease, a sarcastic remark, or something a little edgy, just to see your response. What do most guys do? They snap, defend, explain, or shut down. And that tells her one thing. He's fragile. He doesn't know who he is. But the man who stays centered, the one who pauses, smirks, and says, "That's cute. You always test guys this fast?" He flips the script. Because emotional control isn't about being cold. It's about being grounded. And when she realizes she can't shake you, she relaxes, she respects you, and she starts wondering, what else is he unshakable about? That curiosity is what draws her deeper. While most men are trying to pass her test, you're the man rewriting it in real time. Boundary 5, the authority of silence. Don't explain. Decide. Most men over-explain without realizing it. They soften their no with paragraphs, apologize endlessly, or talk in circles to avoid upsetting her. But every time you explain too much, you're not clarifying. You're asking for permission. Here's the difference. Over-explaining man. "I can't make it tonight. I've had a long week. Work's been stressful. I really need to rest. Hope that's okay. Really sorry." Grounded man. "Can't make it tonight. Let's catch up later this week." See it? One justifies. The other owns reality. Real confidence is efficient. It doesn't ramble. It doesn't seek validation. It doesn't hide behind 10 emotional airbags. It just acts. So here's the rule. Say less. Mean more. A man who calmly speaks his truth and then goes silent holds more power than the one begging to be understood. She doesn't need your over-explaining. She needs to feel your certainty. And when she does, you earn more than her attention. You earn her respect. Boundary 6, the mission, first code. This one flips the entire game. Ready? She joins your journey. She doesn't become it. Most men lose themselves the moment a woman enters their life. They shift their goals, their schedule, their mindset, everything to keep her happy. And at first, she may like the attention. But very quickly, something subtle happens when she starts to believe she's become your whole purpose. Your focus shifts from your vision, your growth, your mission, to her. And when that happens, the polarity fades. But here's the truth. A woman doesn't want to be your entire world. She wants to step into a world that's already alive, already moving, already burning with its own fire. She wants to feel your momentum, to see that you're a man on a path, with or without her. When you live that way, you don't chase. You become the gravity. She naturally becomes the orbit. And that shift, that's what separates the man she casually dates from the man she can't stop thinking about. So ask yourself, What's my mission? What am I building? Do my daily actions align with it? Because when a man wakes with purpose, guards his focus, and lives like he's here for something bigger, women feel pulled into his direction without him saying a word. Bonus, boundary number 7, the no fixing rule. Don't fix her emotions, hold the space for them. This is where most well-meaning men trip up. She's upset, venting, emotional, and you rush into problem-solving mode. Don't worry about it. Here's what you should do. You're overthinking it. Even if your heart's in the right place, what she actually hears is, he doesn't trust my feelings. He's trying to fix me instead of feeling me. A grounded man doesn't repair her storm. He stays steady through it. He listens. He breathes. He doesn't interrupt, doesn't fidget, doesn't panic. Because the man who can sit calmly in her chaos without running, without telling her how she should feel, that man becomes her anchor, not because he solved her problems, but because he didn't abandon her in them. You don't need perfect words. You need presence. Bonus, boundary number 8, the mystery principle. Protect your story. Don't spill it all too soon. Attraction isn't built on instant full disclosure. It's built on intrigue. In the age of constant texts, endless social media updates, and deep oversharing by date 3, most men give everything away far too fast. The men who stand out, they reveal just enough. They let her lean in, wonder, and discover. Mystery fuels magnetism. They overshare their trauma. They lay out their financial struggles. They turn the first conversation into a full-blown therapy session. But here's the problem. When you give everything away too soon, you kill the mystery. And mystery? Mystery is magnetic. The masculine doesn't need to explain itself. It doesn't hand over the entire book on the first date. It lets her lean in, wonder, and ask questions. When you hold something back, not from fear but with intention, you create pull. She feels there's more to you. She feels honoured when you slowly open up over time. That controlled depth, that slow reveal, that's intoxicating. Now let's talk about boundaries. Every boundary you set communicates something powerful. It says, I know who I am. I'm not afraid to lose what doesn't align with me. That kind of masculine energy isn't just attractive, it's unforgettable. Because here's the unspoken truth. When a man respects himself, a woman naturally feels compelled to rise to that standard. You're no longer trying to prove yourself to her. You're setting the frame. You're leading the interaction. So, tell me in the comments, which boundary hit you the hardest today? Which one will you start applying right now? If this video shifted your mindset, give it a like, subscribe to Stoic Whispers, and hit the bell so you never miss a perspective that can reshape your approach. Until next time, I'm Amelia. Remember, set the standard, protect your frame, and own the moment.